Hello and welcome. I am Annette Reeder from thebiblicalnutritionist.com, and today is another grocery discovery. I have a vegetable that's going to hit all of your check marks for why you want to eat healthy food. Not only am I going to share a recipe so that you can enjoy this tonight, but this is a food that everyone in the family needs to enjoy to prevent cancer, to stay young looking, to have strong bones, strong teeth, everything. Everything, your kidneys, your liver, everything in your body loves this food. This is such a delicious food, part of the family of foods that is my favorite to talk about. It's cruciferous. So be sure and check my other videos that I'm going to link to this one about cruciferous vegetables and why they're so important for preventing cancer and why God created them for us and how He gave us a symbol on these foods, why they represent the cross. Such great information. But before we go inside, be sure and hit like, subscribe, and the bell so you and I can stay connected. Today we're talking about collards, and collards are the food you need to have in your diet every week. And you only need one cup a day. 1 cup a day of any of the cruciferous vegetables, and collards are part of the cruciferous family. And you know how much I love cruciferous just because of the health promoting benefits. Now, this food, I don't know if you eat this all the time. I do not have this all the time. I tend to go towards the kale and the mustard greens, but collards are such a good food. They are 4th on the list of high in antioxidants. So I'm going to share with you a lot of other benefits about collards and why I really want you to start eating them today. And if you happen to be in the area of Tom Leonard's, it's got a great price point on it today, so you want to stock up. So this food was a food for the Greeks and the Romans. Now we could also mention that it is the vegetable of South Carolina, so they must know something that we need to know, having these in your diet. So let's talk about the health benefits. Let's start with these vegetables are going to help with the 3 things that contribute to disease, and that is processed foods, pharmaceuticals, and pollutants. So these greens here, as we eat them, and as I show you how to cook them a little bit later today, they are going to help your liver to detoxify all 3 of those things I just said. So pollutants, processed foods, and pharmaceuticals. We need to get them out of our body as quick as possible. Those 3 things, processed foods, pharmaceuticals, and pollutants, they create a havoc in your body. They just create a wreck. And so your liver and your kidneys, they have to process all of these pollutants, all of these pharmaceuticals, and all of this processed food. So kale and collards are going to help you get rid of it. They're going to help to bind it and to help get rid of it. And they do that by the nutritional value that they give you. And number 1 is fiber. You know, I am being upstaged by the band again. As typical when you come here to Tom Leonard's, you're going to see the band. So let's continue on, because when you eat these collards, you could even eat them fresh and raw. That would be fantastic. But most people know them as being cooked into a chicken broth and, sauteed for an hour. Yes, that's the normal way of eating them in the South. But today I'm going to show you a better way. Now, when you eat these vegetables, they go in, they help bind those contaminants. And we get these contaminants in our body even when we're trying to eat healthy. So make sure you're aware of this. We need some collards in our diet every week. Now also, this, because of the fiber, it's going to help lower and normalize cholesterol. We don't want super low cholesterol or you'll have other disease issues. We want normalized cholesterol. So this is going to help with that. If you're a diabetic, this is a food for you. You definitely want this in your diet. Let's talk about cancer: prostate, breast, lung, colon, kidney cancer, pancreatic cancer, and melanoma. You need this in your diet. This is going to help you counteract that. There are several things that are in the natural compounds of the cruciferous vegetables that interrupt, that kind of inhibit the growth of cancer cells at 5 different points along the growth of a tumor. So it's like building a wall and then protecting the wall, armoring the wall against cancer. So we definitely need these in our diet. Now, if you're ever just feeling tired and you just want to go to sleep all the time, you need some collards in your diet. It helps to prevent anemia. This is so important. People that are young, women that are pregnant, and people in their older age sometimes get anemic. And just the natural foods that God created help us to balance that. It's a beautiful picture of everything that God created for us here in these collards. Yes. Now, not just your iron, but it's going to give you all of your main vitamins and minerals, vitamin C, vitamin B, vitamin E, vitamin K, and also that vitamin K is going to help with your blood to be very rich in vitamin K, which is also going to help build healthy bones. So we need this in our diet, and we can do this naturally without needing medications. Now, if you're taking a medication, be sure and balance your diet. So if you eat 1 cup of greens every day, and you do that every single day, you can get your medications balanced to allow that in. You should not be avoiding all greens just because you're on a blood thinner. You need to work with your doctor and say, I'm going to eat 1 cup of greens every day, therefore you need to balance out my medication to make that possible. And typically what happens is they need to lower the dose. That way you're getting the good stuff and you're not interfering with your health at the same time. So recognize this, we are able to have younger looking skin because of the antioxidants. Collards are one of the top 4 foods for antioxidants. That should just make you run to the store right now. And be sure and come and watch the band anyway, because they're just a delight. Now, I've given you several reasons why to get collards in your diet. So let's go to the kitchen, find a fun way to cook them really quickly. You can also, let them cook in your pot for about an hour the way it's normally done. But I'm going to show you a quick way. And then you can go to the store today, grab some collards and have them in for dinner tonight. To cook these collard greens, the first thing we're going to do is remove the rib. We're just going to cut on both sides and just make a slight indentation there. Take that out. And then we're going to stack them in a neat stack. Now what we're going to do is take these and we're going to roll them like a cigar. Now I know most of you don't smoke cigars, but you have the idea. Or like a sleeping bag, you could call it that too. Roll it up nice and tight, and then we're gonna make really thin slices, just like that. About 1/8 inch in slice would be perfect. Some of mine are more of a 1/4 of an inch, but you get the idea. We'll just do a few other cuts right through the middle of them. Make some nice, beautiful ribbons. There we go. Now we want to go ahead and get our skillet nice and hot with some oil, and then we're ready to cook. Our oil is heating up. What I'm going to do is add in a little bit of my dehydrated onions. Let them start rehydrating. I also have some of my dehydrated granules of garlic. So you could use just fresh garlic and fresh onions instead. You can see my oil is heating up. If you have a cast iron skillet, it would be perfect for this recipe. All right, we're gonna go ahead and add in our greens. We just want to cook them almost on a high heat, and just long enough to get, some of them will be a little bit crispy, but otherwise we just want to get them all coated in the oil, nice and shiny and bright green. Isn't it gorgeous? And just keep turning them about every 30 seconds until they're good and cooked, well sauteed. Get that onion and garlic flavor in there. And then we also want to make sure we salt pretty quickly to release the flavor. I always use this real salt. It's my favorite brand. Much better, I love, than even the Himalayan pink salts. If you haven't caught my salt video or my salt blog, you might want to check that out to learn even more about the biblical meaning of salt. Now, earlier in the video, I talked about the health benefits, and we talked about osteoporosis, but also the nutrients in this collards is going to help with rheumatoid arthritis. So those of you that are suffering from that or have suffered from that in the past, or you know someone, make sure you tell them about this food and just how nutritious it is. So we talked about cancer, talked about diabetes, cholesterol, osteoporosis, rheumatoid arthritis, so many health benefits that we can help prevent issues and enjoy a great life. Collards will grow really well in your garden in the spring and in the fall. So sometimes in the summer mine don't grow as well because I have such a bug issue, but in spring and fall they do really well. And there we have it. We don't need them to cook much more than this. That popping is just the water releasing from the vegetables. This is a very high water content food. All right, now let's serve it up. As you can see, this is a very fast vegetable to cook for dinner. So I could make this, just enjoy it on my own like it is. I could add in some black beans and rice, or I could top it with some quinoa and rice. On this side, we can add in some Bragg's liquid aminos, give more of an Asian flair to that. Topping it with just different things, make it part of a Mediterranean salad. This is just going to be so hearty, so delicious, and actually now that it's cooked and warm, it's going to be perfect for a cold day. Thank you for letting me share with you another delicious dish with foods that God has given us with His fingerprints all over it. And remember, this is because I get to serve you God's recipe for excellent health, which always includes good food. This is so delicious. I know you're going to enjoy it as well, but there's so many ways you could serve this. Be creative, have fun with it, but definitely we want to serve 1 cup of cruciferous vegetables every day of our life. That way we can enjoy life more. Remember, I'm Annette Reeder from thebiblicalnutritionist.com. If you have not checked out our Biblical Nutrition Academy, that's where we have courses available to you to take at your own pace about eating and fasting and praying. Totally part of God's recipe for excellent health. I can't wait to see you there in our academy. Until next time, thanks for watching.